radio is sort of done by satellite, so that's why it always sounds like Mike is sitting right here in the room with me, even though he has been historically in New York. He has been, it's how he joins us from South Carolina or DC, wherever he is. But Mike lives now, of course, on the Gulf of America, right there in St. Pete, and goes across the bridge to Tampa to do the show from the radio station there. And of course, there's a video component with the Salem News Channel. So he tapes that and runs it during his show, and that's how we do the X feed, live feed, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So you notice the key thing here is there's a video component, right? And that means that my Skype connection goes boom, bling, boom, bling, boom, bling, boom, bling, and then I see Mike's happy face and he sees mine, usually by about 7:28. So it got to be 7:28, 7:29, 7:30, no Skype, no Mike, no Mike, no Skype. And it's like something is happening here. My text fires up and says, give me the phone number. I need to call you. I need to do the hit on the phone. Whenever Mike has to do the hit on the phone, something has happened. Let's find out what. With more, here's Mike. Welcome, my friend.
Okay, so this is one for the ages. Do you remember Chevy Chase did a series of vacation movies?
Yes.
And there's a famous scene that I'm thinking of this morning. You remember when he and Rusty and the family were in the car and they kept trying to get off on the exit and they could never get the exit.
Right.
It was I think it was European vacation, and he was on a roundabout, remember?
Yes.
And he kept going round and round the roundabout for hours. He could not get over to get to the exit to get off to where they wanted to go. And it was one of the funniest scenes. Mark, I was a half block from the radio station.
Right.
They are tearing up all the roads around the radio station. The very rude construction guy says, nope, you can't go there. I said, I'm right there.
Oh,
I'm
no.
pointing to the office. I said, I'm right there. He said, you're right there? I said, I'm right there. He goes, you're right there? It was like a sketch from like Henny. I got Henny Youngman, the construction worker.
Or Who's on First with Abbott and Costello.
You're right there? I'm right there. You're right there. He goes, turn around and take your butt and go the other way. So I had a few choice words for him. Meanwhile, now I can't find the office. I'm now Chevy Chase trying to get, because there's only one like driveway. I am now back on the Howard Franklin going the wrong direction. I'm 18 miles going the wrong direction, and I'm just laughing because I cannot believe that I was that close. And I had to have, the John Belushi of construction workers tell me to turn my butt around and go the other way. So I may not make it for the show at 10:05. I don't know.
Okay, Clark.
I'm driving up and down the Howard. I'm like a pilgrim coming over on the Mayflower. I'm trying to find the promised land, and I may or may not get there. And I had so much to
inquiring minds want to know, Clark. Inquiring minds want to know. As you sat there and visited with the power tripping construction guy, you are in the shadow of the radio station, and you said, look, it's right there. Right there is where I need to go. Okay, that's fine if there is a navigable way to get there. If he had been more accommodating, could he have let you through to where we would not be enjoying this fun right now?
By the third time that we said to each other, he said, well, right there. I said, right there. I know he could have let me go through. Okay. He just wasn't going to.
But
I was probably a little bit of a jerk, so now I deserve it.
See, that's what I was going to say. Are there lessons in this? Because it sounds like, and this may be hard for the public to believe, you might have copped a tood with the guy. You might have.
I know. Shocking. Well, and then I started to say, I have a show. I've got a talk show.
That's where I was going next. Do you know who I am?
Well, no, it's not that. Not do you know who I am,
know,
but
just
do you
the
know
urgency.
who Mark Davis
the
is?
Urgency.
Yes,
of course.
Do you know who Mark Davis is? I've got to do a hit with my buddy Mark Davis, and I've got so much to talk to him about.
Don't drag me into this.
I am dying to ask you about the interim Dallas sheriff.
Oh,
I am unbelievable.
All right.
What a story. So we got to go there. So forget it. Look, I hope the guy doesn't come find my car and key it because of the few choice words I had for him. Because you know what, it was, and again, now I have no idea where I am. You should hear Tracy try to tell me how to get to the radio station. I've only worked here for 5 years. I don't know how to get there. I have no idea. Good parking lots, frontage roads. She says, "Are you on the frontage road by the building?" I said, "There's nothing but frontage roads and buildings here. What are you talking about?" So I'm a little fired up. And then I got to read about the interim Dallas police chief. He wants the job, right? Michael, whatever his name is, Hugo.
Yep.
Now, you got to explain this to me, Mark. He's holding community meetings bragging about how the Dallas Police Department will not cooperate with ICE and with the efforts to expel illegal immigrants from Dallas.
Let me give you the quote. I know. Let me give everybody the quote. This indeed is Michael Igo, who is the interim chief. Quote, the Dallas Police Department is not assisting any federal agency on detaining people that are either documented or undocumented in the city of Dallas. And he did this at one of these meetings. I've been noticing, and all the local TV folks go cover it. They should cover it. But there's been a kind of a cheerleading aspect to it that's been a little weird. It's like, hey, here's a meeting where you can skirt ICE enforcement or evade the nasty ICE guys.
AOC is doing it.
Absolutely.
AOC is holding town halls telling people how to avoid it.
Absolutely. Now, he made sure to reassure Spanish-speaking residents that his police officers would also not report anybody who is there illegally and calls 911 for help or gets pulled over for a traffic violation. Now, I'm going to give one sliver of grace here. If somebody is calling 911 because some horrible crime is happening and somebody can prevent a murder, I'm prepared not to lie awake at night and worry about that person's immigration status. But traffic stops, you pull somebody over and you discover that they're in the country illegally. Hello, deportation. This is woke policing. And I'd love to know what freshly minted Republican Mayor Eric Johnson has to say about it. I know what thinking people ought to say about it, and that's that it's an outrage.
Who does Michael Igo report to?
Well,
who does city commission?
No,
I mean, the city manager.
The city manager hires everybody. The council has things to say, but it's Dallas. It's Dallas.
What does that mean? Dallas gets to break the law?
Yeah.
Dallas gets to break the law?
Dallas doesn't care if such laws are flouted. It's a big blue city.
Well, guess what? Big blue cities are going to FAFO. I'm telling you, Tom Homan.
Yep.
I mean, where's Ken Paxton on this?
Yeah.
Where's the governor? Where's Governor Abbott on this? I mean, I'm not kidding you. This is outrageous.
100%.
I'm reading this and I'm thinking, wait a minute.
Yep.
You don't get to flaunt and break the law.
Yep.
Flute.
Yeah,
you don't get to. I'm a little fired up today.
I understand.
Now I'm on another.
Use it.
Now
Any
I'm
verb
on another
you like.
frontage road. Now I'm in a parking lot.
He's in Orlando. He's gone. He's actually arrived at Wally World. He's the best.
I cannot find the exit, Clark and Rusty.
Man.
I can't find the exit. You don't get to do this, Mark. You just don't. And
Ideally not.
And I mean it. I'm not trying to be a smart aleck.
No.
He's going to futz around, and he's going to find out. Yeah. Look, can you make an argument against arresting him? Can you make an argument against arresting AOC? AOC is holding town hall meetings and holding Zoom conferences to tell people how to avoid ICE detection. It's the same as harboring a criminal. How do you get away with it?
Okay, is it? Because
it is.
I don't like it any more than you do. But we had a little fun, if that's the term, yesterday talking about whether this is like a radar detector. That the avoidance of enforcement, there is a little bit of tradition to it in American life, and it's not like we're harboring illegals with the police at the doors or nobody in this house. It's telling them where the enforcement is. It's terrible. It is a middle finger to law enforcement and to the notion of the rule of law. Are they themselves breaking the law by doing it? That's an interesting legal question. Yes,
I don't think the analogy holds. I don't think it's an anti-radar detector, Mark. Yeah. I think that's a weak analogy. It is against the law. It is a federal crime. And let me ask you a question. If the feds come in to downtown Dallas with an arrest warrant, a federal arrest warrant, you're going to tell me that the local police, the Dallas police, are going to take a position, well, we're not going to cooperate with you. You have to have cooperation.
He actually talked about that. Igo made sure to clarify that undocumented immigrants with criminal warrants are a different story. If somebody
They're criminals already.
Well, I know that, and you know that.
Already,
I know.
That's a distinction without a difference.
Yep.
It's against. I mean, Caroline Levitt said it beautifully.
Yep.
One of the reporters said to her the other day, "Well, I mean, do you think it's?" She goes, "They're criminals as it is.
Yep.
It's against the law to do what they've done."
Correct.
Why won't Michael Igo enforce the law?
Because it's funny when you know the answer to that question, because he woke Democrat, illegal immigrant protecting points of view does not. The question to Caroline Leavitt was, how many of these people that you guys are looking to deport have broken the law? And her answer was, all of them, because to be in the country illegally is breaking the law. But they seek to establish a different goal line, different place for the goalpost to be. That just being in the country illegally, not really a crime. If you're a rapist or a murderer, okay, I guess we can be serious about you. But they're looking to destigmatize and legitimize simply being in the country illegally.
So if we agree with Caroline Leavitt, and if we agree that all of them are breaking the law,
yep.
Michael Igoe has taken an oath to uphold the law.
One would think.
Michael Igoe is under oath he has sworn a duty to uphold the law.
Yep.
These people have broken the law, and he is telling them he's not going to enforce it. I don't know how. And again, all the excuses. Well, it's Big Blue Dallas. Oh,
it's not an excuse. It's an explanation, because you're 100% right.
Yeah,
you're 100% right. Yeah.
But it turns out to be an excuse because
Yep.
it's a flimsy excuse. And Michael Igoe, first of all, two things. Number one, he absolutely should not have a snowball's chance of hell of getting the top job permanently. He wants it. He's throwing his hat in the ring. Baloney. Common sense should prevail. And number two, I think there's got to be accountability for the guy.
Well, there does, and maybe it comes from Pam Bondi. She has taken action against Letitia James and Governor Kathy Hochul in New York for obstructing Trump's desire to have immigration laws with teeth. And so, from the state of New York to the city of Dallas to any other blue city, any other blue state, let the word go out that we're not going to have obstructionists trying to prevent the law from being followed.
I can't wait till somebody asks Tom Homan about this police chief in Dallas, this interim police chief. I can't wait until somebody asks Pam Bondi. I think I know the answer. These guys cannot do it, Mark. No. They can't get away with this.
Do you know where Homan was? Do you know where Homan was a couple hour and a fraction ago? Sitting on a couch on the Fox and Friends set. So no mystery there. I think Homan has his own suite at Fox and Friends. Guess who is sitting right there next to him, talking all kinds of harmony? That would be New York City Mayor Eric Adams, who suddenly has realized, God bless Mayor Adams, the governor of New York is useless, but the mayor of New York has seen the light about the way his city is adversely affected by illegal immigration.
And you're following the news about how Trump's Justice Department has ordered all the charges to be dropped against Eric. Look, Trump is very big on loyalty.
He's very transactional. Very, very transactional.
Loyalty matters to him.
It'll get you somewhere.
I'm not kidding you now, what I'm about to tell you.
Yes.
I am sitting, I swear to you, in a parking garage. Yeah. And I don't know how to get out of the parking garage to get to the office.
But I mean,
I'm in a parking garage.
In the parking garage of the building where you're trying to get?
In the parking garage, they told me to cut through the lots to get to the back of the radio station.
Right.
I took the wrong turn again while I'm talking to you and getting fired up about this goofy interim police chief.
I was going to say,
and
this
now
is
I'm in a
not
parking
served well. And so you are maybe 200 yards from the studio where you do the show, but there is great question as to whether you will actually be there.
I'm officially in an episode of The Twilight Zone. I don't know. I'm driving. So let me. So, and here's the great part. Tracy and Cassie just sent me a pin to my phone, like I know what to do with a pin. How do I know? What do I do with it? Do I click on the pin? Do I watch the pin? Do I do the pin? Do I sing to the pin? Well, this is insane. I'm not going to make it. I'm just going to curl up here and take a nap.
Welcome to Boomer Technological Adventures with Mike Gallagher. Listen, we will let you navigate the rest of the way. We look forward to you being on the air via whatever method that might be. And happy Valentine's Day to you, and happy Friday. And we'll be ready. That's Mike. That's so awesome.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.